All right, and hello everybody. This is Michael Condon representing the TooMedToo Star Wars Network. We've got your fix, and this is the holiday. This is the Holocron house, and we are on session 14 of the Rise of Skywalker Visual Dictionary. The Kindle app isn't coming up on my computer. That's what I've been trying to do. That and Rural Farm Boy was on here, but he was having some communication problems and some lag, so I think he's just going to hang out in the chat. But I have to go to the old-fashioned way of doing this, so we're going to have to see what happens because it doesn't seem to be loading. So I might have to hook up the old camera and see how that works out. So it might be another minute or so, if I can get it to work. But yeah, it's been a fun day so far. We had friends were on at 11 o'clock, and they went for almost 2 hours. And then we had From a Certain Point of View on right before this. And then I'm just going to do a little quick one right now. And then after this, we're going to have Alberto going on. So that should be fun. All right, let's see here if I can get this done. You know, by the time I get this all set up and ready to go, it's gonna probably load, but that's just the way it goes. All right, and I muted myself, so of course, you know, with everything that's been going on, it wouldn't be the TooMedToo Star Wars Network with no computer and every possible Okay, so all right, let's see if this works now. Okay, we have a camera. All right, so it's just give me another minute, guys. I'm sorry. It was ready to go, and then it wasn't, so we're just going to switch over. Nothing to see here. I mean, there is stuff to see here, but, you know, son of a bitch, fucking asshole. I just knocked something off the table. It's no big deal. forgot I can't swear. It's not the septic tank yet. All right. And we got kind of a glare coming in from outside. So normally I'd have this all ready if we were doing it this way, but all right. And we are going to be on Kojima. Let's see if that blocks out some of the glare. I think that makes it a little bit better. All right. If you guys are ready, I'm ready. So here we have a picture of Kojima. I need to get in reading position. Having found Aki of Bastoon's starship, as well as hard evidence of his intended destination, the next stop in Ray's quest is the mountainous world of Kojima. Curiosity of some prompts from Poe Dameron, the relics that Ochi left behind is inscribed with Sith runes that C-3PO is capable of translating. Unfortunately, he is prevented from sharing his translations due to the restrictions encoded into his programming by Old Republic law. To bypass these strictures, C-3PO will need to visit a black market droid smith capable of expert system splicing. But as they voyage to Kojima, Rey and her friend surface on the scopes of Kylo Ren and the dreaded Knights, who are determined to capture the stranger for nefarious ends. So in here right now, I know we have Pauline, we have Vader's girl, Dale's in here. Earl Farmboy should be in here. He was trying to get on StreamYard, but was having some issues with that. So, maybe these are kind of dark. Maybe a little light might help. Let me see if I bring a light in, if that will help a little bit without giving too much of a glare. All right. So that's with no light, extra light. That's with the light added, that's a little glare. But I can change it to a softer light. That doesn't help at all. I can take the light down. All right. Take it down a little bit. So you just have a little bit of light now. I think that you get a little glare, but that's going to be the best I can do right now. So that's what we're living with. Okay. I've had bad luck on Kojima. That's a Poe Dameron quote. Lawlessness ran rampant in some sectors of the galaxy following the Empire's collapse. The New Republic was too weak to pacify worlds where criminality became deeply rooted, and its failure to act led to widespread apathy towards the new galactic government. Frigid, mountainous Kojima was one such world. Once considered unspoiled, it was famed as a place of market spirituality. However, its remotelessness and lack of cosmopolitan bustle attracted those on the front row from the law, since they made Kajimi the perfect place to lie low. These criminal elements grew all of the more brazen as the time passed, and it became clear that the lack of law enforcement meant a lack of consequences. Kojima now wears its criminal underworld openly on its surface, though its days as a haven for lawbreakers are numbered by encroaching First Order patrols. All right, so over here we have a Splice Runner's Den. Nice little den to hang out with, I guess, in your mountain skiing chalet. The collapse of the empire also led a massive shakeup in the lucrative spice trade operating out of Kessel. Without the guiding hands of imperial officials or mining guild protection, competition for Kessel spice became a bloody free-for-all, and former processing terminals like Obadiah and Famous became too embattled to operate safely. Enter the Spice Runners of Kojima, a pirate band that specializes in striking spice-laden ships that emerged from the maelstrom. In time, these runners worked out their own partnership with the mine operators, sidestepping voice in favor of becoming an exclusive link in the expanded Kessel run that reached all the way to Kojima. And I'll also let you guys know right now. So the notebook I've been using, the keyboard stopped working on it. So I'd have to restart it every time and do a 30-second reset. And it would take like 5 or 10 minutes to get it up and running to use the keyboard. And now it just won't work. So, we're all falling apart over here, but we got to do what we got to do. All right, so over here, down here, we have the First Order has arrived on Kojima, searching for leads regarding resistance activity. Its forces have begun nightly raids in the city, capturing children to turn into future stormtroopers. Let's see, was that? No, that glare's still there no matter what. Oh. I guess we'll do a little bit of, I don't know. Tell me what's better. A little bit of light or no light for you guys? I can't tell. So you guys let me know in the chat what you want me to do. It's all about you. I got the book in front of me. And then here's Kojima City. Kojima is the nearest thing. Kojima City is the nearest thing Kojima has to a capital. It sits atop a plateau that straddles Mount Azuki-gai, the site of the Dambendu mastery build 1,000 years ago. Over the centuries, the city was predictably raided and the monks dampered. Through then, structures still exist. Many spacers are superstitious, and despite the I gotta go to the other side of this. Oops, sorry. Oh my God! And scrupulous nature, they oddly revert to their ancient monuments. All right, so over here we have Wolnuck Drudge, resident of Kojima City. Heat retaining blubber, eyes sensitive to glare. We need him right now for this glare that we're having on our little world of. All right, well, there's light, but it's not facing the book. So it should be giving off at least something. I'll turn it all the way up and switch it to the brightest one. So it's pretty much, it's a little bit more. Yeah, I think that might be better. We're going to try with that now. Oh, if I can stop hitting this shit. He's got a fur vest and a comlink built into his belt buckle. Okay, and over here you actually see, I'm going to pull it over here, maybe not. You actually see Kojima. Kojima City, the ancient settlement, has seen better days. Long beset by criminal squatters, it now faces a raunchous occupation. So you see over here, you have the Gull Kadarthu Gorge. I'm going to mess up this name, or Farm Boy can give you the pronunciation in the chat. Gullen Darker River Valley. And then over here, we have a, right below it, the Galahadaru Massif. All the way down here, you have the Ithamir Glacier, site of secret space runner cache. All right, and the cloud rate. I thought the Kindle had loaded, but maybe on the next turnaround. I mean, that just goes to show you how bad this shit is. Earl Farmer, don't raise your voice to me. I'll ban. You've been banned from this chat before. You will be banned again, sir. Even if you're older than, talking movies, you can still be banned from this chat. Ageism does not exist here. All right, so we have, it's in the brink sector of the mid-rim. It's 9,874 kilometers, 6,135 miles. The terrain is mountainous. It has 0 moons, and the population is 310 million. So the entire population of the planet is less than Australia and or the United States of the Americas, but not of North America. Different story there. All right, so over here we have a fun fact file. Kojima has no central government, being essentially on an anarchy that has achieved some degree of social stability as everyone's self-interest keeps the civilization from collapsing. That was once the quarter of the beautiful. What was once the quarter of the Beatific is now known as the Thieves Quarter. It is the most active part of Kojima City. Temperatures in Kojima City would vary depending on time of day, but they average around minus 25 degrees standard. So I believe standard is the same as Fahrenheit. Any of you guys that live in the northern Midwest or live in, Buffalo or Maine or Syracuse, anything like that. I mean, that is cold, but there's ways around that. I'd rather have negative 25 degrees Fahrenheit than I would 125 degrees Fahrenheit. Because you can always put more layers on. You got bodysuits and things like that. Build a fire, but I don't know. See, then it's like you talk about like Arizona. Arizona's 125 degrees, but we'll get in the conversation. Well, it's a dry heat. It's still bullshit. It's still 125 degrees, but whatever, dude. Yeah. So, anyways. Anywho, so this started loading when the computer started up. So it took 30 minutes for it to load this program. You know, that's what, man, I can't wait till I get this computer back. I've already told you, when I get my computer back, I'm going to do I've never played Battlefront before. I got to clear it with the boss, but I'm going to do like a 12-hour Battlefront stream. I'm just going to get on at like 10 or 11 in the morning and just play it straight through. Intermission here and there. I got to take care of the dog, and, you know, the facilities will probably call and some lunch or whatever. But yeah, right now we got a heat advisory, and they're advising us that we're going to have power outages here in New York City. I just went to the store and to get paper towels, and I could barely breathe when I came back. But yeah, right now it is 95 degrees. I don't know what the humidity is. You know, I just wish it would rain, because that will cool it off a little bit. You know, like when it's cold out and it rains, it hurts my knees and my back. But yeah, so it's like the humidity is 70% right now, which, you know, those of you that know me know I've had a couple of lung issues recently due to a viral illness. We'll talk about that later on. I don't need to talk about that now. And, you know, like when I was at the cardiologist, I was like, listen, you know, before it didn't bother me, only when I walked up a flight of stairs, or I'm in Park Slope in New York and Brooklyn. So like everything's a hill. I'm actually right outside of Park Slope. I'm in the highest point in New York City, and everything, like literally, if you walk out of my house, if you go to the end of my street, everything is down, and like big gradient drops. So walking the dog will make me tired or whatever. But now, just even with the heat, if I don't have the air conditioner running the whole time and fans going to circulate the air, you know, just sitting around gets a little bit hard sometimes, and I have to use my inhaler. But anyways, you know, that's what we're gonna do. I'm still alive. Could be worse. But anyways, let's go talk about Kojima City. Okay, here we go, folks. Kojima City. Kojima City, or Kojimi, as it was originally known, stands at a lofty altitude at 4,200 meters, whipped by frosty winds atop Mount Azuki. Its peak is not as jagged as neighbors, flattering to a plateau to support civilization. The archaic nature of Kojima society means the city's infrastructure is dangerously neglected, and it lacks a reliable centralized source for heating, plumbing, and power distribution. Instead, the many gangs, guilds, and clans step in to provide for the quarters, neighborhoods, and buildings that pledge loyalty. Visitors to Kojima are advised to remain aware of their surroundings, not only because of lawlessness, but also sheer unpredictability of basic amenities from block to block. All right, up here we have a Splice Runner percussion cannon. It has ammunition, service latch, and targeting sight. Then there is a Splice Runner blaster rifle. I like that little bad boy right there. He looks kind of, I don't know. I think the Splice Runner rifle looks nicer than the cannon, but I think the cannon's probably a little bit more dangerous. But it looks more like a sawed-off shotgun, where the other one's a rifle. So, you know, it depends what you're doing. You know, you need close-up protection. You want that sawed-off shotgun. You go on try and hit somebody from far away. Obviously, you want the rifle. But, you know, we have a guild house. I'm pointing over here. I'm pointing on my book so you guys can see where I'm pointing, even though I have it on the computer screen. So that's really good. Okay, now I can't get back to the screen, but all right, hopefully someday it will work. Guild house entrance, lodging, and meals are available only to Kazzarini Trade Guild members. Improvised generators scattered Tabana-fueled generators provide local heating and power. Thieves Quarters, formerly a quarter of the Beatific. This section of the city was once home to a Lordian religious group, the Brotherhood of the Beatific Countenance, who voyaged into the mountainous plains in a pilgrimage to the Dai Bendu temple that once formed the center of the Kojima city. The rise of criminality on the plateau chased the Brotherhood, leaving their homes to be overrun by thieves, squatters. The tight-packed lodgings and thread through the zigzagging alleyways. Their shadows once allowed thieves to outrun the Dai Bendu temple guardians. Now the quarter as a whole is a refuge for those who wish to remain hidden. And then you have a fact file. The most influential guilds in the Thieves Quarter are the Crolian Merchants Guild, the Lantirlian Spacers Brotherhood, and the Intercluster Gatherers. The latter is a splinter of the Wandering Star Criminal Syndicate. So Royal Farm Boy might know better than me. A lot of these things they're mentioning, are they derived from legends, or are they things that we do not yet know about that could be told in other side stories? Or am I just an idiot and don't know anything about Star Wars canon? Let me know. All right, so we have a fun fact file. The most influential guilds in the Thieves Quarter are the Corellian Merchants Guild, the Latinilians. I just read that. A popular drink in Kojima contains the Ultra Ox, a libation with a dense cloud of oxygen suspended above the liquid, which is said to replace altitude sickness with a more pleasurable form of lightheadedness. And for some reason, I can't switch over to StreamYard. Oh, there we go. Yeah, a lot of people say, New York State and upstate New York. It's like they forget about Western New York. Western New York is, Buffalo, Rochester, Batavia. You can go down to the Salamancas there. There's some great skiing over there with some everything, and then you have like Central, which is going to be like Albany and that whatever-ness that it is. But yeah, Royal Farm Boy. Next time I'm in Buffalo, we'll have to plan something out, because how far are you from Buffalo? Like 3 hours? 4 hours? That's nothing. That's, I can convince somebody to make that drive. I mean, shit, I go to Pappas's house in Queens. I mean, I haven't been there since the quarantine, and that takes me 2 hours, and we both live in New York City. But I got to take a train to another train, and then a cab, to get there. But he's just all the way out. If I had a car, I could make it to his house in, 40 minutes. But that's the problem with living in New York City. You don't need a car for 95% of the stuff you want to do. And if you do, you take a train to Jersey to rent a car because it's half the price, and then you go off on what you got to do. But anyways, let's get back to this book. You guys got to keep me on track so we can get this book done. I got to stop talking and save my talking for the end, and then go on rants like I did the other day and make everybody hate me. All right. Kojima's moonless night gets especially cold. For the original monks, the lighting of lanterns abated from the act of basic survival in a ceremony clutched in gratitude. Today's city dwellers have forgiven the ceremony though they are grateful for the lanterns. And then over here we have steps to Monk's Gate, a flight of steps leading to the northernmost wall of the Thieves Quarter. And then you have a quote from Zori Bliss to Poe Dameron. I heard you were spotted on Monk's Gate. Didn't think you were dumb enough to come here. She probably said it a little bit better than I did because I tripped up on those words. Royal Farm Boy, next time I'm going to be in Buffalo. If there's time, I'll plan a day and come visit you. You're going to have to put your playlist down, and, you know, maybe we'll pull out the computer and do a little City Slicker Farm Boy live streaming. So we got the ancient masonry down here. The city's ancient granitic stone was quarried from Mount Azuki Kai. Then we have over down here this little blurb. You have Finn and Rey both defer to Poe's leadership given the circumstances, but Finn continues to be surprised by the detail that emerged about Poe's checkered past. And then blending in and their way into the Kojima city, Poe Dameron liberates 4 heavy jackets from the Orpranko Guildhouse. The disguises provide much needed warmth as the resistance fugitives wind their way through the snow-dusted alleyways through C-3PO's internal thermostat keeps his joints from freezing up. He appreciates the gesture. I think that C-3PO would need it more as a disguise than to keep him warm. And, oh, we have Gannon in here. Gannon, you got the day off? Or did North Carolina close down because it's hot? And that's another thing. People think that North Carolina must not. North Carolina gets humid. North Carolina gets some great thunderstorms. Say around 5, 6 o'clock, maybe 7 o'clock. You have some beautiful thunder that comes rolling through. You know, especially central North Carolina. Not so much the mountains, obviously, but, you know, it comes up along the mountains, unleashes on central North Carolina, and the beach has a pretty easy going at it, though. So, all right, here we go. We got some dudes to talk about here. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, this is definitely, we still got another 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we're not going to get this done today. I'm going to have to break it up into another 2, so I'll keep this one. All because computer problems, of course, to start off with. Well, thanks for stopping by on your break. We appreciate it. Patrick is one of the good ones. If you guys don't know Gannon136, go follow him on Twitter. Pauline, you can't follow him on Twitter because you're not a twatter, like you're not a twat like the rest of us. I don't think that came out right. That should be different words. Maybe I should use there. Or maybe not. I don't know. I'm getting ready for the septic tank today. I'm on fire, man. I've been on fire the last couple days. You know, such is life. But what are you going to do? People suck. All right, so we have Kojima City inhabitants. The Thieves Quarter has an unspoken motto hanging over its densely packed buildings. We're all in this together. Boom! Look at those words right there on the page. The Thieves Quarter has an unspoken motto hanging over its densely packed buildings. We're all in this together. Criminals from all walks of life understand that there are havens amid the guildhouse and gang's den. The gaps between clearly delineated. I am not pronouncing this word properly. I don't know why, because it's probably like a second grade word. But the gap between nearly delineated territories. Real Farmer, give me a pronunciation on that because I'm missing something on there. You know, I'll put together supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Doesn't have to be that word, but something else, you know, scientifically in that. And I just, whatever. Safe zones where if you don't like looking for trouble, trouble won't find you. While the city's attitude won't protect you. A pirate who picks a fight with a bounty hunter bar. It likely won't abide hunters seeking quarries in a pirate den. The cantinas, that doesn't sound right. What did I say there? While the city's attitude won't protect, say, a pirate who picks a fight in a bounty hunter bar, it likewise won't abide hunters seeking quarries in a pirate den. The cantina in the neutral block contains a ruckus collection of unlikely gambling and drinking partners. And yeah, Patrick, I was gonna do Hamilton tonight for the septic tank, but I still haven't watched it yet. So I don't think it's going to be Hamilton. I haven't put out the notifications for it either, so I don't really feel that bad. I mean, I did the poll and people said they wanted Hamilton, so maybe next week we'll do Hamilton. You know, I might just go grab a couple books and see if anything pops out at me to have a conversation about tonight. You know, because there's always Star Wars to talk about. I always have a Star Wars movie playing in the background, but you know, whatever. So, you non-Hamilton watchers, you might have a freebie tonight. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I don't know. Anything can happen between now and then. I mean, but I do have Alberto going on at 5, and then Blue Bantha Milk at 8 because they had to reschedule theirs from yesterday. So I go from 8 to 9. But I have in between Alberto and Blue Bantha, and then Blue Bantha and when I go on. But that all depends what the boss is doing too. So, you know, that's the whole thing. Waiting for her to, you know, it's not just sit down and watch it. It's making sure we have 3 hours together that we can watch and pay attention. And I don't want to be doing computer shit, and she doesn't want to be doing work stuff or on her phone or playing her game or whatever. So it's making sure we can set aside that 3 hours of doing nothing. And we just haven't had that yet. Because a lot of times we watch TV programs, you know, I'm on the computer and watching, or she's on, you know, doing whatever she does. But all right, let's talk about some of these people. One of them you're going to find very interesting, I believe. There's been a lot of conversation about it. But not this guy. Plusco Marino. Plusco Marino is a former clerk of the Bureau of Ships and Services, an agency of the New Republic. He fled the destruction of the galactic government with a collection of navigational data that he had stolen over several years. The insider information is full of shortcuts and preferred routes ordinarily kept exclusive for governments and corporation transports. Marino keeps this data in a custom storage module built into his upper body armor and hires himself out as a navigator who can reliably cut down on travel times. He has an auroral cavity, so he doesn't have ears, but he's got ear holes. Armored blast vests with data, cold box ring, mode on back, okay. Prehensive lobe, Leku characteristic of Osrilanso males. Osrilanso? Real farm boy, we need a clarification on that. Osrilanso and a Jacobus fur sleeves. Okay, like, see? This, I have no problem with anything they're telling us. They're telling us he doesn't have ears, he's got ear holes. They're telling us, you know, about his vest where he keeps his shit. You know, they're saying, listen, this is what this species has. It's not like her hair's in a ponytail, so it doesn't get caught in a machine. Well, really, dude? Come on. All right, anyways, I'm going to stop being so... I need to find a happy place with my Star Wars today. We have a Atomic Tech Sochach over here. I'm pointing again, once again, so you guys can see what I'm talking about, even though the camera's not on me. Cloned Karabek pelt jacket. Tomet Sechez used to be the commander of the Gimmons mercenary army. I thought that was a she, but I guess not. Looks can be deceiving, I guess, especially nowadays. He eventually decided to break out of his own after predictions of a prolonged peace in the galaxy provide accurate. Now that war has returned, he does fight the occasional pang of remorse for giving up his army for hire, and in all likelihood, most of his best soldiers would have retired by now. Such has made a living as a crowd pleasing trick shooter until the demonstration went wrong and landed him with a death sentence. He is now a personal defense instructor. Patrick, let me know how long you have before you go, because I want to make sure we get these couple guys in while you're here. Okay, we have Ominous Titan. He has an insulated environment suit, a 20-eyed Bazadin Amorous Titan is well equipped for his profession as a forger. With concentration clusters, his eyes can focus on specific portions of the electromagnetic spectrum, from X-rays to, with extreme effort, radio waves. Amorous has lately become convinced that he can see the future, attributing to a non-existent 21st eye. We have a fun fact file down below. Although the residents of Kojima are notoriously permissive when it comes to criminal enterprises, slavers are not afforded any safe quarter and are not welcome back. First order patrols have been encroaching into the Thieves Quarter as of late, a development none of the criminals want. All right, so now this next, I'm grabbing a beverage really quick while we switch pages. Well, same page, but you guys see the guy in the, I guess, well, he would be on the left-hand side of the page on the top. Take a look at him and take a look at his name before I say anything. Real Farm Boy, don't say anything. These are for the people that, this is first the people that don't know. The people that do know this, don't say anything. I want the people that don't know to look at it and see if they can figure anything out on who this character might be. Bye, I love you. All right, so no, I was just talking about more of, I've had absolutely nothing to do with Star Wars, but just I'll talk about it on the separate tank. I don't want to get involved in it in here, but just, you know, anybody that follows me on Facebook can see there was a problem in my family because somebody was being an asshole and I called them out for it. And then everybody in my family had a problem that I did it in text and the words I used, not the problem with, you know, what was actually the problem. And then I had the same thing on Facebook today with another freaking idiot I went to high school with. Just not as bad. And I ended up, you know, whatever. But anyways, all right, so here we go. Hrothgar Denge. Does anybody know about this Hrothgar Denge? Vader's girl, Hrothgar Denge. Here, let me see. I'll do this. It's not letting me get in there. Trying to get all up in this shit and it's not letting me. So, oh, maybe that is gonna work. It's taking a second to transfer over. Okay, here we go. Pull this off right here. This guy right here, Hrothgar Denge. Okay. You see him, and you see the close-up here. We'll get rid of this light for a minute, maybe. You see the close-up here of his face. And then he has the mechanical body. So can you guys hear me? How people are saying that it's silent or quiet or whatever. Did you hear me talking? I was just saying what he looked like here. Do 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 do. All right, now it's just taking me forever to switch these things over. All right, can you guys hear me? I'm having people saying it's silence. And you know me, I'm never silent. Yep, it is believed to be Dengar. We have no confirmation of it, but you look at it, it is an extinguished rictus, is now permanent, heavily armored vital organ bank, powered servomotor arms, salvaged Imperial era stormtrooper armor, repainted in favorite color. And I believe there's multiple people that have this has been around on Twitter for a while. It took a while for it to come out. Like right when the book came out, people go through the book. Nobody really picked up on it right away, or it didn't become popular. But a lot of people have asked, I think like Matt Martin or people in the story group or whatever it is, if it is Dengar. And they've given the vague, answer of it doesn't say so in canon yet, or, it doesn't say it anywhere that it is. They don't come out and say, no, it's not. But they're very tactful, especially Matt Martin, because he's really the one now, since Pablo Hidalgo just got sick of everybody and just told everybody to fuck off, because, well, he didn't say that. He was nicer. Well, sometimes he does, I think. But, he was just sick of everybody's shit. And he's like, you know what? I'm not dealing with you, everybody. And made his account private. So it's like, we don't really know if it is him or not. They could have just been like, hey, let's use this as a joke. But Rathgar is an old and experienced Corellian bounty hunter who is likely operating under an alias. He has been subjecting himself to cybergenic replacements in a poorly planned bid to live and work forever. As age begins slowing his reflexes and dulling his senses, Rathgar returned to a black market surgical clinic to replace damaged or wizened body parts with ones that will give him an advantage in this dangerous trade. Poor decision making has led to a ghastly appearance. So that's like, we don't know. If we had to guess, that sounds like it could be, Death Rendar, because move the letters in his name around, they come out, to his name, and he was an old bounty hunter from Corellia, so that fits that one. And he could look like him. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah. That's, it would be easier if I had somebody on here to talk to me, but Rural Farm Boy's computer isn't behaving, and Gannon's at work. Nobody else wants to come out here and talk to me because nobody loves me anymore. So here we go. Down here at the bottom. Fedeft Davenspan. Delicate fingers are well scaled for fine technology work. coat grown in thicker after many Kojima winners, grease tanks on his body, Fedoff, Devon Spot, an outlaw tech for hire. Fedoff is a 300-year-old dies medallion with an infinite feel for starship systems. She is willing to cut deals in order to get her hands on technology that excites or intrigues her, particularly ship designs that she has never seen before in her long, well-traveled life. Like a like all her species, Devon's bot has a keen memory and would never have settled for a routine job. Then we got this badass over here. I mean, just from the looks of him, I think he'd be the last one I'd want to mess with. But let's see what it says about him. Maybe it says he's a big pussycat, or he's only like 1 foot tall. But I don't think that's the case. A terrifying bounty hunter. Oh, I'm sorry, Charybdis. A terrifying bounty hunter. This unsettling continuance in the result of his species' odd arrangements of sensory organ, all of which are located behind his sharp teeth. His eyes, really more photosensitive orbs, ears, vibrating cilia, and smell receptors line a vulva-like bulb suspended from the roof of his gargantuan mouth. To see, he must grimace, which inevitably intimidates most humanoids. Dis has compensated for his facial appearance by wearing a sensor dome atop his head, which helps gather data about his surrounding without him having to stand agape. So he's a pretty weird dude. I mean, he sees and smells and hears from his throat, basically, which that can be a whole nother topic in the septic tank tonight. If you guys smell what I'm putting down, which you probably don't want to because it's going to be in your mouth, in your throat. But he has a custom-made sensor gathering cap. Kirby knows he should clean his teeth more often. Whistling Bird Mandalorian Rocket Gauntlet. Oh, that's nice. I wonder where he got that from. That's pretty good. Pretty good to know right there. And if nobody's got any more questions, we'll head on to the next one. Okay, we have the Kojima Crackdown. The Kojima Crackdown. We've locked down the perimeter, sir. Lieutenant Barrack to Kylo Ren. Since we're talking about, well, we don't have Lieutenant Barrack here. So that's just had raided Kojima for years, knowing that the criminals that cluster there were unlike to ever petition, unlike dedication intentions becomes more public, its presence on Kojima became more pronounced. As far as galaxy, the First Order attempts to cordon off Kojima and occupy the planet from the system of blockade and patrols roam the time-honed streets between out and patrols roam the time-honed streets seeking out subversives. A sense of moral superiority galvanizes the officers in charge. They assume that the criminals believe in nothing and will never pose a threat since they will be too busy saving their own hides or protecting their ill-gotten gains. We have a picture here. First Order team sweep door to door looking for any signs of the scavenger that Kylo Ren is hunting, as Rey and her companions have kept a low profile. Most of these thugs are completely honest when they confess to having no clue about what the First Order seeks. Occupation officers commanding the stormtrooper garrison on Kojima are First Order Army officers dressed to intimidate in sub-zero temperatures. White field jackets add to an already imposing air of authority among the officers. The Kojima occupation is led by Captain Althwin Ozzy. His subordinates have divided this city into zones with a lieutenant responsible for each area. When the hunt for Rey and her resistance companions intensifies at Supreme Leader Ren's command, Ozzy entrusts Lieutenant Barrick with establishing a locked-down perimeter around the city. Within his cordon, snowtrooper squads fan out, supplementing patrols of scanner ships and UATT urban assault walkers. We have a picture here of Lieutenant Barrick uses sensor data transmitted by the Star Destroyer overhead to coordinate his troops. As by design, there are no reliable maps on Kojima City, which leaves many warrens and covered alleys unseen by First Order eyes. The First Order uses its AAL 1973.91 troop transporters to shuttle prisoners and recruits back to the orbiting Star Destroyer for further processing. After a visit from Kylo Ren and his knights, the First Order garrison issues Protocol 13 command and withdraws all of its troops from Kojima. An ominous portent. Over here we have Lieutenant Ludin Colwell. Line officers, expeditionary cap, synthetic heat retaining pile fabric, First Order symbol, armband honors Imperial Admiral Klaus Power, Lieutenant Lyden Conwell. Glare reducing slit visor on this snow trooper. He has an F11D blaster rifle, anti-fog optics, and heat shutting filaments differentiate snowtrooper blasters from standard First Order weapons. Insulating cloak and hood. This data file is subject TX8080. Homeworld is Holocron. He is a human from the First Order. His height is 1.8 meters or 5 foot 10 inches. He is 24 standard years of age. And the Snow Trooper Garrison, a mix of standard First Order stormtroopers and specialized cold weather assault troopers, march through the causeway and alley of Kojima City, enforcing the Supreme Leader's will. Snowtroopers unit commanders wear hooded cloaks over their shoulders to differentiate themselves from the otherwise identical rank of white armored soldiers. The snowtrooper armor is lighter than the standard with fewer rigid pieces, and much of it is covered by insulating fabric. Snowtroopers wear backpacks that maintain comfortable temperatures within the armor, but they are also trained to withstand the cold should their technology fail them. A passive isophobic chemical coating prevents frost buildup on their armor plating, and their weapons include heating filaments to keep vital components from freezing up and when not in use. Snowtrooper helmets, breather tank, inlet, power charging and consumable refill port, blast helmet, and flared neck shroud. Photothermal coating prevents ice from clinging to cape. And that's your stormtrooper officer right there. Try to see, I missed a couple things here while I was reading. What did I miss here? Oh, when I was talking about Gribdis, I said if he was 1 foot tall, and Pauline Harvey said that him being 1 foot tall, that would be funny, 1 foot tall. Thinking of Monty Python and the Holy Grail right now. I'm not dead yet. It's but a flesh wound. That was my Monty Python impression. So okay, we went one more page here. Did we skip this page? Have I been on this page the whole time? I do not know how to rotate this page. So the page is going to be sideways for you. Have we been on this page the whole time and you guys didn't have the trooper? And nobody told me? Or did that just happen right now? Because I'll go back and show the trooper page if I need to. Oh, Pauline, thank you for stopping by. We will see you later. But I guess we don't. Well, I'll do this really quick. In case I didn't do it right and something happened, then this is the Kojima Crackdown page. If you guys are in the chat and I did mess up and skip over that page somehow, go to, it's about a minute into it, a little over. And now we're blurry. So I might need to do this. Remove that page. Trying to completely do this here. All right, so if you people want to listen to what I was talking about before, just go back and take a look. I mean, you're not missing much. It's just a couple of troopers, really. But, you know. All right, now we're back on the camera. We're just all over the place here, folks. All over, all over. That's my little song for you. I hope you like it. Okay, yeah, so that was the page. I mean, it just shows the guy, and it just shows really quick the stormtrooper. The only really cool thing on there that's interesting is the gun and the helmet. Everything else is just kind of like, whatever, dude. You know, but okay, so here we go. The AUTT Walker. This is what they talked about a page or so before. I cannot rotate this right now. And even if I could, I don't know if I should with the way everything's going computer-wise for me. But we'll just go over this. I guess turn your computer or turn your phone or, do whatever you got to do. Read sideways, look sideways. I don't know. The AUTT Walker is the Urban Assault Tripped Transport or Tripped Walker. It is preferred for first-order weapon and pacifying cities as the regime battles and occupying the major star systems of the galaxy, while the official surrender of a world to the First Order is usually done in ministerial chambers with the signing of a treaty. Such diplomatic solutions often don't trickle down to the street where insurgents or subversives, as the First Order term them, fight back against the mechanicalized invaders, building on a legacy of walkers designed stretched back to the Clone Wars. The UATT is ideal for surgical rooting out entrenched guerrillas and rounding up troublemakers while keeping the surrounding cityscape more or less intact. So, well, let me finish talking about this, and then we'll see what else. We'll see what they have to talk about. So, although a lot of times when I just spout out my crap that comes into my mind, it's like, oh, that's what it says right there. But we'll see what they say. The First Order has imposed martial law in the otherwise lawless mountaintop settlement of Kojima City. Scanner craft fly at low altitude, shining lights and sensor beams into the shadowed alleyways. The most hardened pockets of the rebellion are left to the AUTTs to root out. Zori Bliss and Poe Dameron watch one advance from the relative safety of a rooftop. So here we have a fun fact file. The manufacturer is Quat Entrola Engineering. The model is an urban assault tripped transport walker, or tripped walker as we call it in the biz. Affiliation is First Order. It is 6.52 meters tall, which is 21 feet 5 inches. The length is 10.33 meters, 33.11 inches. It just takes one pilot to crew it. It goes up to 90 kilometers an hour, which is 56 miles an hour. For those of you that aren't Canadian or don't understand their made-up kilometer speak. Weapons. Chin-mounted double laser cannon turret clusters with heavy blaster cannon and 2 air-cooled repeater cannons. The UATT's three-legged design finds its roots from the ATAP Walker fielded in the Republic of the Clone Wars, which used a central leg as a stabilizer when firing its heavy artillery. To protect the blind spot, the UATTs typically have a squad on foot stormtroopers accompanying them. All right, so here we've got this big old dude right here. Spot lamp on rotating arm, armed entry hatch, cockpit viewpoint, targeting sensors, riot armor covering center, elbow joint servometer, distal foot articulation pistol, riot armor cover shin strut, pressurized fluidic articulation mechanism, and a Cap 5 captivator arm. He's got a terrain sensor and base of foot pad. And then down here, we have some more information on here. He has a chin-mounted laser cannon, a turret-mounted weapon cluster, armed passenger cargo cabin, synemial joint, ankle positioning piston, central limb can fold up and flush with undercarriage, toe flap. Then the three-legged design, the First Order larger, more heavily armed ATM-6 walkers can dominate open battlefields with their devastating firepower, but deploying them into an urban area would likely demolish the city in question. When occupation rather than obliteration is the intent, the UATT is the perfect compromise between mobility, defense, and armament. For basic locomotion, the UATT uses its 2 main legs and a digital grade walk center. The central limb doubles as both a stabilizer for fixed position firing and a manipulator. This limb can tear into buildings, crash through roofs, and clearing obstacles. When fully extended, this limb ends in a manipulator claw that can hold a victim captive, immobilizing them, or if desired, crushing them outright. So this is going to be the last page for here that we have. Yeah, it looks like I don't know what it's called, but the dude from RoboCop. That's kind of where I was going. It looks It looks like an urban chicken walker, kind of. You know, like you take a chicken walker, and a chicken walker is fine if you're doing something in the fields or out doing, you know, whatever and going through. But this, he can go through. I mean, he's tall, but he's not that wide. He can fit down a city street and go in, and somebody's hiding behind something. He can go use his third leg and grab him and hit him up with his third leg. So, yeah, I mean that's about it for that one today. We got some fun stuff coming up next. I'm going to tell you right now, a little tease right now, what we got coming up on the next one, which we might do tomorrow morning at some time or sometime during the day. We got a hottie. We have one of the cutest creatures in Star Wars. I mean, not really. He's not actually like cute, but just adorable. Then one of the most fun droids next. Then we do some relics of the Sith. And that's it. So tomorrow's might be a short one unless we get some people to chat about it in here. But that's good because, the one the other day was kind of long. So we'll see where that goes and how that happens. We'll be doing the septic tank tonight. Still not sure what. You never know what's going to happen to the septic tank. It could be Star Wars. It could not. Could be, what's inside your butthole. I don't know. What's inside your butthole? Maybe it's an astronaut. Maybe it's an alien. I guess we'll never find out. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I said thanks to the patrons, people. I was planning on working on some of getting a lot of stuff mailed out the other day, and I just had shit going on, didn't feel like dealing with it, so I just didn't do it. Sorry. And hopefully I can get some of that done tomorrow. Tomorrow I have to read every episode of Afra because the Afra book comes out, and I was told you don't need to have read the Afra comics to read the book, which I'm going to guess, of course. It's kind of like you don't need to read the books to watch the movies, but it's going to help. So I have, like when they put them together in books, it's like 1 through 6, and then 7 through 11 or 12 or whatever the hell they are. I have the first. I have volume 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think. I might have 5, and then I have to buy 6 and 7, or see if I can rent them from Comixology, or whatever's going on, just so I can get that done, and then maybe go into maybe start off with some of the Vader comics too, where Afra first appears. So that's my day tomorrow. That, and maybe doing some podcast listening, and maybe throwing one of these on there for a little quick couple page. I think it's 8 or 10 pages on this one, and it's probably where I'll leave it. I don't want to start a new one, unless I do a second one later on in the day. But we'll see what happens. But all right, you guys. Yes, the Afra audio drama comes out on Tuesday, but I want to have it done by Monday, so all of the comics done by Monday. So if my special featured secret guest that has not been announced yet for the Bacta tank, when that is announced, if this person is up to date on the comics, we can talk about it. Or afterwards, we can talk about the comics with whoever wants to talk about Afra comics. And then the book comes out Tuesday, or the audio drama comes out Tuesday. but it usually drops at about 3 o'clock Tuesday a.m., 3 o'clock a.m. So if I'm still up, I'll catch a little bit of it. Plus, I want to be ready to go, have it all ready, have my character list all ready to go, and, you know, that's that. But all right, everybody, if you're here in the chat, go check out Alberto at Radio Rebellion. He's going to be live in about 5 minutes or so. Tell him I sent you over there, so that, I don't know, just tell him whether you're going over there because of me or not. Just tell him I sent you. It's like Rural Farm Boy, say TooMedToo sent me over here, even though you're going to go over anyways. That's not the point. You know. So all right, yeah. With that, I say good day. May the Force be with you always. And we'll see you in the septic tank tonight.